If you never try, you never know. And if you never try, that means you are 100% lost already. But if you try, at least you have 50% chances to win. Hello, so happy to have you in the Out of Comfort Zone Unlock Potential podcast. And today I would like to speak about the concept of getting out of comfort zone because most of the time people feel a little bit resistance, right? They say, oh, wow, we are out of comfort zone anyway. Life is so hard, especially now with the political situation, with the financial crisis, with all these different elements which is out of our control. People say why I should step out of comfort zone because life is so hard anyway. I just want to chill. I just want to sit on my couch and chill and have no drama, right? And I can fully understand you that you don't want to have any drama in your life, that you want to relax, that you want to have a great life. So let me explain the concept of out of comfort zone that we don't have any misunderstandings, right? So the concept of out of comfort zone, there are two ways how to step out of comfort zone. The first way is, of course, where you didn't decide to step out of your comfort zone. You have a life crisis, like the pandemic crisis, right? We were all out of our comfort zone. We didn't decide to have a pandemic crisis. We didn't decide to have maybe even COVID, right? We didn't decide to stay at our couch at home and not being allowed to going out. So that was a real out of comfort zone situation, which was out of our control. We were forced in it, and it was a massive challenge for all of us, right? And everyone dealt with this kind of challenge differently. Some of us was depressed, sitting without knowing what to do with this kind of situation. Some of us started to have started with meditation. Some of us started with online course. Some of us just sit at home and get ill and didn't know what to do with their life. So yes, we all were out of our comfort zone. It wasn't our decision. But what I can tell you, this kind of situation even is in our control. So of course, you don't have the control of external circumstances. Also now, you don't have the control of the financial crash. You don't have the control how your boss is treating you, how your colleagues are treating you, how your partner, your wife, or your husband is treating you. Of course, you don't have the control of all these elements, but you have control of your own emotions and of your own reactions. And this is so important that you can realize that and recognize that. And the question is, are you then more in the growth mindset or in the victim mindset? Because when you are in the victim mindset, then you say, oh, many things are happening to me. Oh, why I'm so unlucky. The world is so hard. What I should do now? Oh, sorry. Unlucky me. So sad. Everything is happening to me. But when you go to the growth mindset, then you feel that you are the creator. And not things happening to you, things happening for you. And you have the control to control your mind, your emotions, and your reactions. If somebody is treating you like a shit, you have still the decision how you react, how you treat yourself, and what you do with the situation. Of course, you can stand the situation out and say, oh, I'm a victim. I need to adjust to the situation. I deserve it. Or you can say, no, I'm the creator. I don't want to be treated like that. And I will take my consequences. I will stand for myself. So it's still your decision, right? But of course, when we go back to this pandemic situation, it wasn't our decision. We felt maybe a little bit overwhelmed. We felt maybe a little bit like a victim. But at the end, what I can tell you is that everyone reacted differently. I was in the pandemic crisis in South Africa as an expat. I worked as a consultant for Ernst & Young, the Big Four consulting company. And I wanted to go to South Africa to have nice, fancy safari tours, nice, fancy drinks and dinners. But what happened after 3 weeks of being there, lockdown happened. I wasn't even able to go back to Germany. That was my home turf at this time. I couldn't see any friends. My family was in Turkey and in Germany. So I was completely out of my comfort zone in a pandemic crisis, living in Johannesburg, one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And then I said, oh, shit, I'm in a victim mode. I didn't wanted to do this as an expat. I wanted to travel. Now I'm sitting at home. I even can't work. What I should do? 2 days after getting depression, I said, I can't stand myself with this depressive mode, right? I couldn't do sport. I couldn't go out. I was afraid, freaked out. And then I said, okay, mine was always writing a book. So why I don't write my book? I can't change the situation. I'm stuck at home. I can't do my sport. I have a lot of frustration, but the frustration is also energy, right? So I have a lot of energy, but I don't know how to channel this energy, where to focus. And then I decided to write my book and said, okay, now the gift, because then I would be in Germany. I would still go to sports, still would see my friends. I even wouldn't have time to digest some thoughts, some situations to write a book. And I said, okay, let's use it as a chance to be stuck in your house and write your book. And what happened? Out of comfort zone, magic happens. It became a bestseller book. And in this book, I'm telling about the concept of out of comfort zone, the first concept of situations which is out of your control, and the second one is which is in your control. And maybe you can check, how often are you going to a gym? So you are going to a gym to strengthen your muscles, right? And are you also doing some mental gym to activate your resilience, to being more strong? Because what is the aim of going to a gym? You are going proactively to a gym to create muscle, to be fit also for future illnesses, to be fit for your age, to be fit for your life, right? So you go there, you train your muscles every day or every 2, 3 days, which you feel that you need that for your fitness. And how often you push yourself mentally to increase your resilience, to increase your mental toughness. Because when in your life things get really hard, then you have panic, then you have the fear zone, then you have the fear energy. And at that moment, maybe you can't use your brain muscles because you are stressed out. But when you say that you proactively step out of comfort zone for a period of time, when you go in a controlled environment in a stress situation and master the feeling of getting comfort and discomfort, then you are unbeatable. When you proactively step out of comfort zone and see it like going as a gym, but it's a mental gym, then in real stress situations in your life, you will master that perfectly. You will be much more stronger than others. You will less get stressed out. You will less get panic feelings. You will be more clear in your life, what you want, what you do. You will have more self-confidence. You will have less panic, less fear, more courage. And that's the concept of stepping out of comfort zone. It's not just the sake of stepping out of comfort zone. It's about unlocking your own potential. How you can unlock your own potential. So when you reflect for yourself, what made you so strong so far? And in which time period you learned a lot about yourself, about the world, about the business. So imagine the first time you went abroad, the first time you lead a big team, the first time you hold a speech in front of hundreds of people. So every time when you do something new, the first time when you felt like, oh, it's scary, but every time when you mastered that, you get a confidence boost, right? You get a boost of courage. You get a boost of, wow, I did that. I'm proud of myself. And those moments are not moments which is in your comfort zone. Those moments are out of comfort zone situations. And every time when you stepped out of comfort zone and you mastered this situation, you are getting stronger and stronger and unbeatable. And this is about the concept of stepping out of comfort zone, learning new things, trying new things, experimenting, doing things what you didn't do before. And for that, what I can tell you, you don't need to have 100% self-confidence. If you wait for having 100% self-confidence, you can wait years and years. It's about having the courage to step out of comfort zone, having the courage to step with the unknown. And of course, why we are stuck in our comfort zone, why we do every day the same things, stuck in our routines, because it feels comfortable, because it has less risk, right? So when you know every day what you do, what you eat, with whom you hang out, of course it feels comfortable in the sense of, okay, everything's well, no risk, no stress, even though if you have maybe stress. But when you want to step out of comfort zone, of course, it's a fear zone. Everyone has fear because you don't know how it will look like. You don't know if you will be successful. You don't know how people react. You have your own struggles, self-doubts, fears, limiting beliefs. Everything comes in. And that's why we don't go for our dreams. We don't follow our dreams in a persistent way because we have this fear zone. We are getting hijacked by our own fears. But imagine when you can master this, despite fear, continue, then I can tell you that you are getting into the learning zone. So when I decided to English channel, everyone, my loved ones, had also fear limiting beliefs. My mom said, "Oh, are you crazy? English channel? That's so difficult. That's so crazy. You can't do that. It's too risky." I had my own self-doubt. So we all were in like a zone, right? But then when I said, okay, I want to myself and others that I'm more than my fears, then I started to realize that I need to learn something, learn new skills, learn to think new, learn to act new to overcome my fears. So I started with breathing exercise, meditation exercise, to control better my pulse, my body, to control my limiting beliefs, my demons in my mind, and to have more courage. So if I wouldn't have fear towards cold water, I would never learn new skills about meditation, breathing exercises, and so on. So the fear helps me basically to learn new things. So that means the fear is not your enemy. The fear is your compass. You can use it. Despite fear, when you step out of your comfort zone, then directly you are in the learning zone. You learn new skills, learn new behaviors, new thinking ways, and you learn also about new people. So the more you have the courage to step out of your comfort zone, doing new things, experimenting new things, the more you will see that suddenly new people will come to your life. So it's so magical. And then you're going to the growth zone, and the growth zone is the magical zone. You know it from the Maslow hierarchical pyramid. You have the self-fulfilling zone. And that's exactly what we aim with stepping out of comfort zone. Realizing your dreams, having your self-fulfillment. And your self-fulfillment will not come just sitting on the couch, being in your comfort. No, the self-fulfillment will come the more you explore yourself, the more you explore your own potential, the more you have the courage to do new things, to explore the world. Even if you fail, you need to try new things. You need to try with courage new ways. If you never try, you never know. And if you never try, that means you are 100% lost already. But if you try, at least you have 50% chances to win. And that's about the concept of stepping out of comfort zone. It's about creating your own magic, unlocking your own potential, and being a role model as well for other people, empowering other people, supporting them as well. And imagine if we would have 5-10% more courage, less fear in our life, how great it would be. So it's time to take action. It's time to do every day something new. What you can do now, to experiment every day something new towards your dreams, towards your bigger goals. So you don't need to make big steps. Even small steps will bring you there where you want to go. So just start with small steps. What is your small step every day, what you can do, what you can experiment? You will feel the difference. I wish you many more magical moments where you can explore yourself, explore the world, and let's create this journey together. Thank you for listening and looking forward to your comments, and also keep following. I will give you more and more hints and tools in your hand where you can step further and further out of your comfort zone and exploring yourself. Have a beautiful day. Take care.